Welcome to Final Whistle Football News, the home of daily football and transfer updates. Subscribe now and join the community of true football lovers. Never miss a moment from the beautiful game. My news is Liverpool head into the Champions League tonight against PSV Eindhoven looking like a bruised animal once more. Last time out at Anfield, Arne Slot's Reds were convincingly beaten by Nottingham Forest in the Premier League in a 3-0 loss, with the match preceding this humbling defeat on home soil also seeing the Merseyside Giants lose by the same emphatic scoreline. Away at Manchester City, thankfully, the Champions League has been a temporary sanctuary for the reigning Premier League champions, as was evident in their 1-0 win against Real Madrid, the last time they did battle in the illustrious competition. Therefore, Liverpool will be hoping they can lick their wounds again and beat their Eredivisie opponents later on this evening. If form doesn't pick up, though, the January transfer window will be a very apt time to try and find upgrades on the underperformers consistently letting the side down. Transfer latest at Liverpool. Despite their poor form as of late, the Reds will still see themselves as a significant superpower in any transfer window to come. After all, a colossal £415 million was spent just this summer on a raft of new signings, with fresh rumours now indicating that the Slot and company could be prepared to drop another £123 million on Bayern Munich ace Michael Olise. Moreover, Antoine Semenyo remains in their sights as another attacking signing that could boost a side let down by the likes of Alexander Isak and Florian Wirtz to date. On top of signings to add to their attacking arsenal, Liverpool are also allegedly looking to do battle with Real Madrid over the services of midfield talent Vitinha, according to emerging reports from Spain. Indeed, the report elaborates that the La Liga giants are preparing a €150 million, £131 million, bid for Luis Enrique's prized asset. Yet, Liverpool are keen to accelerate a deal, as well, by matching the Los Blancos amount, ensuring they could actually eclipse the £125 million club record capture of Alexander Isak. A next step to the Premier League is noted as being very appealing for the Portugal international. If a statement move were into motion, why Vitinha is a clear upgrade on Gravenberch. Alongside the vast majority of his teammates, Gravenberch has suffered from a notable dip in his performance levels in recent matches, once labelled as being vital to the way Liverpool tick earlier in the season by ex-Reds midfielder Steve McManaman. The former Ajax prodigy turned Anfield first-teamer struggled to be an influential presence in back-to-back defeats at the hands of City and Forest, with only 4 ground duels won in total across 14 attempts, as per Sofascore.to make matters worse. The underperforming number 38 would also fail to notch up a single key pass, leaving him on just the one paltry assist for the campaign. While Gravenberch has shown visible signs of decline, Vitinha has continued to stand out on some pressurized stages for Enrique's men. With this wonderful move, which was kick-started by the 25-year-old's fierce burst of pace in last year's Champions League final, just one reason why his national team manager in Roberto Martinez has glowingly labelled him the best midfielder in the world. In league action for PSG, too, this season, he blows his immediate competition out of the water, with 1 goal and 6 assists from 12 games, among other numbers, sticking out immediately to Slot, as he attempts to make Liverpool a vibrant and attractive watch and attack this campaign. Again, rather than sticking by their current stifled appearance, it's not just in the attacking department where Vitinha could improve the downbeat Reds, with the 5'8" playmaker also averaging 4.9 ball recoveries so far this season in League One, next to Gravenberch's lesser 3.5. Of course, the Premier League is a different kettle of fish altogether from the French top division, which PSG consistently dominate, but Vitinha has actually shown off his swagger against Liverpool at Anfield, with the incredible midfield general, as Enrique has also labelled him, dictating play during PSG's slim 1-0 away win in the Champions League last campaign when amassing a ridiculous 103 accurate passes. Worryingly, his Dutch counterpart receded into his shell, with 0 accurate dribbles registered, and possession was lost a costly 12 times. The one-time Wolverhampton Wanderers loanee won't be moving to England on the cheap, but it could be a splurge worth signing off on, as Slot attempts to reinvigorate his options all over the pitch. My second news is Chelsea star Estevao is the most talented Brazilian since Neymar, with 2 advantages. Expert, South American football expert Tim Vickery has named Chelsea star Estevao the most talented player to come out of Brazil since Neymar, but feels he has two advantages over the former Barcelona icon. Chelsea have quietly risen to prominence both in England and Europe this season. They're currently second in the Premier League and fifth in the Champions League. They are some of the top scorers in both competitions, and scored more than once in a game for the sixth time in a row when they beat Barcelona 3-0 on Tuesday night. Estevao scored his side's second goal, the most important contribution of the 18-year-old's career so far. It was his third goal in 5 Champions League appearances this term, and it made him the second youngest player to score on his first 3 starts in the elite European competition. Discussing just how good the Brazilian winger is on Sky Sports, South American football expert Vickery likened his talent to the iconic Neymar's. He said, "We've got, probably now, the first genuine Brazilian superstar to have chosen the Premier League. Usually they want Real Madrid or Barcelona. Estevao has come to Chelsea. Please, don't take this for granted. I think comparisons with the top drawer, alright, they put a burden of pressure on him, but he does seem to respond extremely well to pressure. I think he's generally regarded as the best, the brightest, most talented player to come out of Brazil since Neymar, with 1 or 2 advantages. He seems more stable than Neymar, and certainly so far, there's much less baggage around him. I think the sky is the limit." He was known as Messinho, Little Messi, and when he got his break in the first team at Palmeiras, he scored a goal on debut, getting in at the far post, and you think he's got no right to score that goal. The opposition was a little team from Uruguay called Liverpool, and you're thinking back then, it's not going to be long until he's doing it against a rather more famous Liverpool. Guess who his first goal in the Premier League was scored against? You got it, Liverpool. I well remember his coach at Palmeiras, Abel Ferreira, pleading with Palmeiras not to sell him, but saying, "This lad is different from anything I have ever seen." My third news is straight loan or €50 million. Manchester United set conditions for midfielder. Last month, Gazzetta dello Sport reported Manchester United's Kobbie Mainoo is pushing for a January exit, and Serie A is very much an option. This is due to lack of game time, with Napoli keen on bringing him the Maradona Stadium. The newspaper claimed the 20-year-old was pursued by the Naples club in the summer. A move didn't go through at that time, despite the player being interested in the switch. Now, Manchester United's demands are causing problems for Napoli. La Repubblica journalist Enrico De Lelis has spoken to Calcioblog about the England international that he made it clear the Red Devils either want a dry loan or a permanent sale. In midfield, Mainoo is a real target. United are asking for a no-obligation loan or €50 million. Neither option is worthwhile for Napoli. The journalist further suggested that Lazio's Matteo Guendouzi could become a target for Napoli. Guendouzi comes into play in all this. I know Conte really likes him. Manchester United midfielder sees World Cup drifting away. In this case, Manchester United's stance looks like a problem for Mainoo. He obviously wants to play at the World Cup, having starred at the European Championships in 2024. Unfortunately for him, Ruben Amorim has shown a high amount of rigidity in his ideas since he arrived at Old Trafford. This has also led to Mainoo being excluded more often than not. He has started just once in the Premier League this season. The youngster's appearance against Everton was the first time he's played 30 minutes since August. My last news is England's 2026 World Cup draw. What's the easiest and toughest group they can get? England will enter the 2026 World Cup as one of the favourites, but their pathway through the group stages is about to be revealed. The World Cup draw is to be held at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. on December 5, with 48 teams divided into 12 groups of 4. It is one of the most important dates in the calendar for Thomas Tuchel's side, who will also find out when and where they will play the World Cup, which could be anywhere from Vancouver to Guadalajara, as the tournament is hosted by the United States, Canada and Mexico. But who can England draw, and what are the best and worst case scenarios on paper? How does the draw work? The 48 teams or placeholders will be divided into 4 pots of 12 teams, using the FIFA World Rankings list published November 19. Each World Cup group will consist of 1 team from each pot. The hosts, United States, Canada and Mexico, will be placed in pot 1, as always, and have already been assigned to specific groups. The top 9 countries will join the 3 hosts in pot 1, with the next 12 in Pot 2, and so on. That seems straightforward, but there are some rules. Teams in the same pot cannot face each other in the group stage. Teams in the same confederation cannot be drawn in the same group, barring those in UEFA who can be drawn where a maximum of 2 European sides can be drawn per group. What's the best draw England can get? England are in Pot 1, so they will definitely avoid the world's best teams, Spain, Argentina, France etc., for at least the group stage. It also, in theory, means that England should be favourites to win their group no matter who is in the group. However, there are a few scenarios that would make England fans feel a little easier heading into the tournament. Based on FIFA rankings, Iran, ranked number 20, Austria, number 24, and Australia, number 26, are the easiest possible opponents from Pot 2. England's combined record against those sides is 17 wins, 5 defeats and 6 draws, with their last loss against any of them coming against the Socceroos in February 2003. Pot 3 includes potentially favourable matchups against Saudi Arabia, number 60, Qatar, number 51, and Uzbekistan, number 50, while Pot 4 could see England drawn against Haiti, number 84, or World Cup newbies Curaçao, number 82. England could also face the winners of the European playoffs and intercontinental playoffs, meaning a potential matchup with New Caledonia, number 149, or Suriname, number 123, should either of them defy the odds and book their ticket at the World Cup. What's the worst possible draw for England? As mentioned above, England will fancy their chances of winning their group no matter what happens at the draw. That being said, there are some scenarios that England fans would undoubtedly deem tougher than others. Based on FIFA rankings, the teams that Tuchel and company will want to avoid in Pot 2 will be Croatia, ranked number 10, and Morocco, ranked number 11. Both would pose a threat to England. Croatia have finished second and third, respectively, at the past 2 tournaments, while it was Morocco who they beat in the third-place playoff in Qatar. Uruguay are another potentially difficult opponent, with a team that boasts a number of players at Europe's major clubs. From Pot 3, the teams to avoid are a little more subjective. Norway, number 29, are the third highest rank in the pot, but the prospect of facing Erling Haaland and Martin Odegaard in North America is far from a cakewalk. Scotland, who at number 36 are technically middle of the pack in Pot 3, are another difficult potential tie where the old rivalry would add another layer of pressure. History would suggest so too, with England and Scotland holding each other to a 0-0 in the Euro 2020 group stages. The last time they met at a major tournament. Pot 4 is where a potential banana skin comes into view. Should FIFA place the playoff winning sides in this pot, then it means Italy would be a potential opponent, should they successfully reach the World Cup. Potential European opponents in this pot also include Turkey, Poland, Denmark, and Ukraine. Remember the caveat, though, England can only be drawn with one other European side, meaning a truly disastrous group is unlikely to come to fruition, and why avoiding Morocco in Pot 2 would be beneficial. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Final Whistle Football News, and turn on notifications so you're always in the loop with the latest transfer news and rumors. 1 more thing, what are your thoughts on these updates? Comment below.